So I'm very excited to introduce everyone to our special guest today, Abdul Akim Kamara. And Akim, thank you so much for joining us from Freetown, Sierra Leone. And
Thank you.
thank you. And a little bit about Akim. He is a graduate of the Peace Studies program at Fourah Bay College. He is also a top officer in Campus Peace Club, which teaches peacemaking skills to youth across Sierra Leone. His work, his research, and his dissertation focuses on preventing violence, especially among young people. He was also one of several select youth to be trained by Mediators Beyond Borders and Rotary International in leadership and peace building. And I know that recently you were part of a campaign educating people across Freetown about the coronavirus public health measures, and you helped to distribute soap and water to local marketplaces. So you have done a lot with peacemaking and the coronavirus, and especially resiliency. I'm really excited to talk with you today about resiliency because as a country, Sierra Leone has bounced back from a lot of things. And so I wonder if we could start by you just telling us a little bit about Sierra Leone and also what it's like right now in the time of coronavirus.
Thank you so much, Kate. I'm really happy to be here today. So, of course, Sierra Leone is a country that's gone through a lot. It is located in West Africa, and Sierra Leone has gone through civil war, cholera, mudslides and flooding, and of course, Ebola and presently coronavirus. Sierra Leone is a small country, and we're small, a little over 7 million, population. So I think we're here, we are doing better, we're fighting. We are hoping to be there. Yeah.
Great, thank you so much. And today we're talking about resiliency and particularly how to be resilient during this pandemic. But as you mentioned, in Sierra Leone, you've seen Ebola. I didn't know that there was a cholera outbreak. Was that in your lifetime that there was a cholera outbreak?
Well, it was a long time ago.
Okay, so
Yep.
so this is for Sierra Leone. The third or maybe even more times seen an epidemic. For you, it's your second time seeing an epidemic because the Ebola outbreak was only a few years ago. So are there things that helped you to be resilient during Ebola that now are helping you during the coronavirus?
Yeah, of course. So the Ebola outbreak in Sierra Leone was really a big problem for us because as a small country with a poor health system, we were not really expecting that to happen. So when Ebola came, it affected all of us, all of us that were in Sierra Leone and West Africa. So it went through homes and took a lot of people, the lives of people, and went through families, left a lot of tears. But some of us were able to, go through the Ebola epidemic successfully. And especially me, I was there, and it wasn't easy, but I was able to, bounce back. And some of the things that kept me going, through the Ebola, one of the things I remember is I do have a thing that I always say to myself. I always keep reminding myself that it is not my fault, because, sometimes we tend to be hard on ourselves, and because of the situation, some people will feel guilty and all. One thing I always say is that it's not my fault, and indeed it wasn't my fault. So reminding myself that it's not my fault helped me throughout, because if I wake up in the morning and I feel down, I feel very difficult, to mingle with people, to communicate, I usually say to myself that, this is not my fault. So it's not my fault. This is a situation. It's normal. It's what's going on. So I should accept things as they are. And I remember another thing that, built me up was always doing the things that gives me joy, the things that gives me happiness. Because in times like this, back then, Ebola, people were dying and all. You wake up in the morning super stressed out and you think that, am I going to live to see the next day? So one thing that I always do is to find the things that makes me happy, like listening to music. It can be movies, so in times like this, it's much more advisable to do things that makes you happy, because if you're always thinking that, oh, I'm gonna die, something's gonna happen to me, what if I'm not gonna make it? It can be stressful, So doing things that can make you feel happy will help you heal the soul, will help to heal your mind and take away all of those stress that may come, because of things happening around. So find things you can remember, oh, what are the things that I've been doing that normally makes me happy, and for me, of course, I listen to music, watch movies. Sometimes I do take a walk and try to clear my mind in nature. Yeah. So the other thing is that I try to make myself useful. Making myself useful means that I try to do a lot of things, because in times like this, you stay home, you have nothing to do, and your normal business or the usual thing that you're used to do is being cut off because of quarantine, because of lockdown. So if you sit down idle, there will be a problem. You'll become sick in the mind. So what you do is to keep yourself busy, find something to do, set up a routine. Like one thing that I normally do is set up plans that, okay, I need to clean my room, I need to clean the house, I need to prepare food for the family, I need to make sure my environment is clean. So I try to keep my mind busy. I think about things to do, how to, make myself very useful, not to myself only, but to my family. And the last thing I can mention for now is that I try to establish communication, with friends, family, of course. I was at home with my family, but mostly with friends out there, loved ones, because in normal times, there will be a time when you can go with friends, go out and have a great time. But when there is pandemic or epidemic, some of those things are limited, they're being cut down. So what you try to do in order to keep yourself, motivated, keep yourself in shape, is try to establish communication. Sometimes people might try to reach out to you, try to reach back, because just know that what you're feeling, other people are feeling it too, and that people need help just like you need help. So reaching out to people, establishing communication can be really useful. Some of those things helped me throughout the Ebola period, and those are the things that I'm doing now. Presently, I do set my routines whenever I feel down. I remind myself that the coronavirus is not my fault. It's a situation. It's around. It's happening. So I shouldn't feel guilty about it. It's not my fault. So you reminding yourself, will lift your spirits, finding things to do, keep yourself busy, do things that will make you happy. I've been doing it. I'm doing it. That's why I'm still in shape and I'm ready. I'm prepared to face anything. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You touched on so many things that I think are really important for resiliency. I love that you use the word joy, and that you talk about that these are things that you would do in everyday life, and they just become even more important during a pandemic. And thank you for mentioning community. That's something that we're talking about today, is how important it is, especially for children too, to keep those social connections even when we can't see each other. And thank you for touching on the feelings of guilt that can come up, because I know that something my colleagues and I have talked about is the survivor's guilt that could happen from coronavirus, that if you know someone who lost their life to it, or someone who's sick, you might have those feelings of guilt that you are not sick or suffering. And it's important to, remind ourselves that coronavirus is not our fault, and that the way we feel is not our fault, and just keeping that perspective. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Those are all such helpful tips. And I wonder too, I think that we will have a lot of parents tuning into this workshop, and parents are home
Oh,
with their kids, yes, and trying to help their kids get through this. And I wonder if you have any suggestions for children in particular, and how parents can help their children to get through this epidemic and feel resilient and bounce back.
yeah, of course. As someone who have survived through an epidemic before, I've seen situations wherein kids are, of course, when some of these things happen, kids are involved. They are being impacted, and it is our responsibility as parents to make sure that our children, our younger ones, are being cared for at this time. So, some of the things that I saw, and some of the things that I'm still seeing around here in my community is, especially my home, because we have children around. So what we're doing as parents, as elders here for the kids, is that first of all, you look at education. Try to educate them about what is happening, because it can be very bad to hide some of these things from the children at home. Allowing them to get the information from someone cannot be too good for them. They expect to hear it from you. So first of all, you need to educate them about what is going on. You need to tell them that the world is experiencing coronavirus, and coronavirus is deadly. It's killing people, and it's very important for us to be one at this time, for us to stay home. It's very important that we learn to abide by the rules given to us. And kids do listen. Children do listen to us. So first of all, you establish that sense of education to them. You educate them about what's happening around. And another thing that we normally do is to keep their minds positive. Keeping their minds positive is that you tell them, you remind them that after this time, like after this pandemic, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna go out. You're gonna see your friends, because you telling them that will give them that sense of hope that there's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be better, and you can tell them that it's going to be fun after this time, that everything will be okay very soon. They need that assurance from the elders and adults around. And also give kids a tidy environment, because when their space, when it's so tidy and clean, they have this thing about playing in a very clean and tidy environment. You will give them the urge to play around, to see that their space is for them, it's clean, so they are welcome at any time. And also you should have time for them. I know during this time everybody's stressed up. People are really thinking about, maybe it's going to be financially, people are thinking what's going on, people are losing jobs and all. But if you have kids at home, this is the time that you should have time for them, because at this time they are not going to see their friends. They are not going out to school where they can meet their teachers, their second parents. So you need to be there for them. And kids are they're very sensitive, that they observe each and everything happening around. So at this time, you need to be there for them. You need to play with them, and also you need to feed them. Because sometimes times like this, people are stressed to the point that they do forget to eat. So when you have kids around, give them good food. It helps to take their mind off. Give them good food, and also, most importantly, take care of yourself as the parents, because when you take care of yourself, remember that those kids are looking up to you. Those kids, they do know when someone is going through hard times or not. So I know that you as a parent, you don't want your kids to see you as a reason for them to be sad. So kids can only be sad if they see that their parents or their guardian is not too okay. So by you taking care of yourself, you're giving that kid a good signal that everything is going to be okay, everything is doing well, everything is okay, everything is all right. And also stay connected with them. Like if you see they're playing, join them, play with them. Kids love to play a lot. Play with them, join them. Make sure that if they're doing something very important like reading, doing their math, drawing, make sure you join them and you tell them. And whenever they do maybe after drawing, they draw something very important, celebrate with them, lift their spirit, because that's what kids need at this time. And also, the last thing I can give for now is set a daily routine for your children. Give them tasks to do, keep their minds busy, because kids are so important in our lives that if we are going through pain and pressure and stress, we don't want them to go through that. They need care, they need love. So totally all what they need during this time, being pandemic or epidemic back then, they need love and care. So at this time when they're at home, they're looking up to their parents. So I think it is our responsibility, it is your responsibility to care for them and show them love at this time. And that will really help them. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm thinking as you were speaking about one of the things that we mentioned in our workshop, which is that kids learn how to manage their emotions primarily from watching the adults around them. So it's really important that we set a good example. And I love what you said about giving them time. That really is the most important thing. And making room for celebration. I love what you said about if they do a wonderful drawing to celebrate, because they might feel like they don't have many opportunities to celebrate things right now, but that's not true. There really are opportunities to celebrate in everyday life, and that helps to keep them feeling positive. So thank you so much. And I wanted to ask you too, you are familiar with some Peace Center lessons. You know Emotional Cup, you know the self-care basket, because I know that you have watched our videos and you love these lessons. We have only done them in the United States. We haven't done these in Sierra Leone or West Africa, but when you saw these lessons, they resonated with you. So I wonder if you could talk about what you find so valuable about the work that we do and these lessons.
A big thanks to you guys for doing such a wonderful job. I think you guys deserve more credit for what you're doing, because when I usually watch them on YouTube, when I watch some of those videos, I just imagine that, I wish these videos can apply to some of the children, to some of the people here in Sierra Leone and in West Africa, but unfortunately, most of them don't have access to that, which I know they will someday. I fell in love with some of those videos because I see myself, I see things that I've been doing, things that I'm still doing in some of those videos, like the emotional cup. Sometimes you do, as an individual, you do wake up in the morning in a very sad mood, maybe thinking about something, so you need to pour out some of those emotions. You need to make sure that your spirit is being lifted, and also of course the self-care baskets. That's something that I normally do. Whenever I feel down, I think about something that I should do to make me happy. Just like I mentioned that we should do the things that gives us joy. It's like going into your self-care baskets and taking some of the things. Like for me, whenever I feel down, I said, okay, I think I need to share my skill with the family. What I do prepare food for the family, for my mom, my brother, my sister, and the children around. So I do prepare food for them. So that's like me going into my self-care basket, taking the thing of making food, taking some of the recipes there and try to make myself happy. So that's why I fell in love with some of those videos, because it's contemporary, it applies with what people are doing daily. And sometimes you don't even know that you have a self-care basket, So if you're watching, you just know that you do have, each and every one of us, we do have a self-care basket, for the fact that you can't be sad at a time and you think, okay, if I listen to this music, I will be okay. If I take a walk, I will be okay. That's like you reaching out to inside your self-care basket, and you take that ability to take a walk and you go outside, come back home, then you find out, okay, things are better now. So yes, I've been following, I've been watching some of these videos, and kudos to you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to ask, as we wrap up, are there any other thoughts that you have or advice that you have or something that you would like our audience to know before we finish today?
Well, of course, not much, but what I can say is that I know most of our audiences in the US, you know, so what is happening, I know it's new to most people there. And as someone who have experienced an epidemic before, I want you to know that it's all a dream. That's how I used to see it. It's all a dream. And it being a dream means that there's a hope for you to wake up someday from it. So let us be strong. We'll go through this together, no matter the difficulty that we are going through. We'll get past this, and let us know that there's life after coronavirus. Everything will be okay. This is a time for us to reflect back on our lives. This is a time for us to sit with our family, to think what should be our next step, what should happen next. And I think everything will be okay. So let us be strong. Let us try to move forward. Let us work together. We can't do it alone. We can make it happen when we come together. So together, you and your family, you and your friends and loved ones, together we all can come as one and take out coronavirus. Yeah.
Well, Akim, thank you so much. And you're so right. Everything is temporary and there's always hope. And it sounds like that is what has kept you going through any situation that you've encountered. And it's what's going to keep all of us around the world going, through this pandemic. And you and, the other people of Sierra Leone who have been through a similar situation before, the way that you have bounced, thrived, and then can share your wisdom is such an example to all of us. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Stay safe and stay healthy, and we appreciate you.
You too. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you.